Welcome to the Fit Postpartum Mom Podcast. I'm Jena, and today I have a very special guest with us. Her name is Aly McClain. She's the host of the Peaceful Home Birth Podcast, and she is a wealth of knowledge when it comes to mindset coaching and getting your body strong postpartum. She's had 4 kids herself, and boy, does she know what it's like to go from no fitness to full-on fitness. She is rocking it out, and she wants to share her story with us today to inspire us, to inspire you to make fitness a priority. And she has so many tips for you today, and you don't want to miss it. So if you're ready to hear from Aly McClain, stick around. Hey friend, welcome to the Fit Postpartum Mom Podcast, where you will learn how to strengthen your body after pregnancy and finally get rid of the postpartum pooch in less time. Fitness can fit easily into your busy schedule. There's a simple way to navigate your postpartum journey, and I'm here to teach you how to do it without the chaos, overwhelm, and tears. If you are here for a little sweat, a whole lot of sleep, defined, tight, and toned muscles, and to live your life as a mom to the fullest, then you're in the right place. Hi, I'm Dr. Jena, but you can call me Jena, and I'm a physical therapist and a mom of 4 little girls who has cracked the code on how to strengthen your core postpartum in the easiest way possible without the stress, exhaustion, or struggle. I did it, and now I'm here to help you do the same. It's all about progress, not perfection, and I'm here to help walk you through the journey to feeling strong, confident, and energized. That energy comes from within, not your coffee. Let's roll out your yoga mat and hit the floor, girl. It's time to do this. Today, I am interviewing Aly McClain. Aly McClain is a dedicated advocate for empowering first-time home birth mothers to embrace the beauty and serenity of home birth in the Christ-centered way. As the host of the Peaceful Home Birth Podcast, registered nurse, and home birth coach, Aly combines her passion for holistic health, mindset techniques, and practical wisdom to guide expectant mothers through every step of their journey to a peaceful and empowering birth experience. After having a traumatic birth with her first, Aly decided to choose a different experience for the next baby, and she has gone on to home birth her next 3 children, as well as help many women in person and online have a peaceful birth they desire. Aly brings a unique blend of expertise to her podcast, offering listeners a wealth of knowledge and inspiration as they prepare for one of life's most profound moments. Her gentle yet confident approach reassures mothers that they have the strength and support they need to navigate the birthing process with grace and confidence. Through insightful interviews, heartfelt conversations, and actionable advice, Aly creates a warm and nurturing space where mothers can find encouragement, guidance, and spiritual nourishment on their path to parenthood. Whether discussing the benefits of natural childbirth, sharing personal anecdotes, or exploring the intersection of faith and childbirth, Aly is dedicated to helping mothers cultivate a sense of peace, joy, and empowerment as they welcome their little one into the world. Let's welcome Aly to the show. Hey, Aly, thanks for being here today.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Jena.
Yeah, I'm excited to talk to you about so many things, but let's start with just finding out a little bit about you. Tell me about your family, your kids, and tell me what you like to do for fun, your hobbies, and if you have a favorite vacation spot.
Yeah, sounds good. Well, I'm Aly McClain, and I have been a registered nurse for about 10 years. I love what I do. I have been married for just as long. I got married in nursing school, actually, which was a big no-no, but I fell in love with the love of my life, and we have 4 kids, and I homeschooled them all. And I'm also a home birth coach. So I help the first-time home birth mom navigate from pregnancy to postpartum. And I love what I do. I am located in Nebraska. So traveling is always a treat because there's not a ton here, except the zoo is a big deal. It's one of the top zoos in the world. So we go there often. But I would say my favorite vacation spot that I've ever been on was a while ago, and it was my husband and I. We went to Hanging Lake Colorado, and it was the most amazing hike. You hike up the side of a mountain forever, and there's a lake like up on top of the mountain, and it was so beautiful. And I just love Colorado, love Utah. So those are probably my favorite places to
That
go.
sounds right up my alley. My husband and I love lakes. We love hiking, all those
Yeah.
things. So that sounds beautiful. I'll have to look that one up.
Yeah. So I know we're
Wonderful.
going to be talking about postpartum today. That was kind of one thing that really, when I first started with home birth, I was so into the home birth planning and preparation. And so I just love your podcast because really so many moms need help with that postpartum and just feeling like themselves again. So I just love your podcast. I listen to it and I love being a postpartum fit mom.
Oh, great. Well, thank you. Thank you so much. It's been such a great resource for moms who just want to get back to living their
Yeah.
strong self again. And I'm so glad you enjoyed it. I love your podcast. I've been on your show as well. And for all those moms who are listening, who are going to have more babies, you have to listen to Aly's podcast, because if you want to have that home birth, that peaceful home birth, she's your girl. She's your girl for sure. All right. So yes, we're talking about postpartum. So what makes you so excited about postpartum in general?
Yeah. Well, when I got into the birth world, and this is over 7 years ago now, I had a C-section with my first baby. And after that, I just experienced a lot of birth trauma, and postpartum was really rough. I struggled with postpartum depression for about a year. I had trouble bonding, trouble breastfeeding, the whole thing. And I knew I didn't want to do that again. So I dove headfirst into birth world. And I wanted to make sure that if I could just help one woman, that's what I set out to do. If I could help one woman avoid what I went through, then everything I was learning and going through would be worth it. And getting into the birth world, I realized that so many women love to learn about birth, and they dive headfirst into, okay, learning all the things, which is so great, and education is wonderful. But one of the biggest grievances that I heard most women talk about is, I should have planned for postpartum better. And I honestly I didn't care about postpartum. I didn't know that you could make it beautiful until I had my 3 home births after my C-section birth. And I realized that planning for postpartum is just as important as planning for your birth. So not a lot of people are talking about it. And yeah, I just see a ratio difference in how we plan for birth versus how we plan for postpartum. And I can see the contrast in myself and the people I work with, that when you plan for postpartum as well, it can really change your lives. It can increase the bonding, increase your milk supply. It can decrease postpartum depression and anxiety. And so that I care about that because I care about women. And still, I see people all the time, new moms who have never had babies before, so they don't know how big of a deal postpartum is. I see new moms struggling so much, and it breaks my heart because I know that there's a better way.
Yeah, I agree completely. And that's how I was. I remember with my first baby when I was pregnant, I did all the research about pregnancy and birth and breastfeeding. I spent a ton of time learning how to breastfeed and did not spend any time thinking about my own body. And, even though I'm a physical therapist, I just thought, oh, it'll just happen on its own. But no, it doesn't, your body doesn't recover on its own. And it takes some education for sure. So that's what, like, I'm here to help educate. You're here to help educate. Why do you think there's such a disconnect in moms, spending so much time on that pregnancy and birth and not so much on postpartum? Like, where do you think that's coming from?
Yeah, I think it is just a cultural norm. We're living in a time where everything's rushed. We want everything to happen immediately, and there's no delayed gratification. And so we are constantly rushing around. And so after we have a baby, we still are in that mode of, okay, I have to do this and this and this. And we have been programmed to believe that getting up right after you have a baby and going to Target is normal. That's not normal. That's not how so many different cultures around the world do it. And it's not healthy. It's not beneficial for you or your baby. And so I just think it's a cultural narrative that we've bought into, thinking it's holy, thinking it's righteous, thinking it's self-sacrificial, thinking that we just need to be normal again. And the reality is we're not normal. We've transformed into a whole new role, a whole new being. We have a whole new life to take care of. And each time that happens, I don't care if you've done it 1 time or 8 times, it's transformative every single time you do it.
Yeah, completely agree. Completely agree. Well, so you have you worked out? Like what is your lifestyle like? Have you always worked out, or is this like something that you just started as a postpartum mom? Like tell me about your history with fitness.
Yeah. So I grew up running around, right? I was homeschooled and I love to be outside like all day, every day we could do that. And so I was always, I was in volleyball and I did all of the activities that was just a normal everyday part of my life. Now I worked out through college. I just enjoyed dancing. I did it. Now, when I got pregnant with my first, I had always heard if you work out during pregnancy, it makes your labor so much better. And so I went headfirst into working out. And the workout that I found that worked best for like my lower back and my sciatica pain and, all of those changes in your body was swimming. And so I swam 3 times a week and I absolutely loved it. I felt amazing. I felt fit. And it was so awesome until I had the birth and the birth didn't turn out the way that I wanted it to. And so I had correlated working out and trauma together. And so for many years after that, my baby that I had a C-section with is 8 now. So for many years, I didn't want to go back to working out. Like, there's no point. I'm a mindset coach. And so now looking back, I'm like, oh my gosh, I had formed a belief back then that it was pointless, not helpful, and just hard. And so there was no point in doing it. I had always made excuses like, well, I'm running around with a toddler, or, I'm getting enough workout and going up and down the stairs. And the reality is, I wasn't living to my fullest potential because I had a limited belief. So after my last baby, so this was my third home birth, I don't know what the switch was exactly, but I knew I need to make a change in my life. So this is just recently, about 18 months ago, I ended up going to a gym, hiring a personal trainer because I knew that I needed some motivation. I needed some accountability to get started. And so she worked with me to get me back working out. And I didn't realize, which this is going to sound so silly, but I didn't realize the mental health benefits of working out. If that is the only reason I work out, then it will be 100% different or worth it, because being a mom to 4, you're constantly thinking about all the things. But when you go into a gym and you're focused on what is right in front of you and you can prove to yourself that you can be consistent and that you can do hard things, you can take that home with you as a mom. So it's been so powerful. And yeah, so to answer your question, it is new-ish to me, but it's definitely been one of the best things that I could do for myself and my motherhood.
Oh, I 100% agree. I can just tell day to day, like if I go 2 days without working out, my mood completely drops. And
Yeah.
then the day, even if it's a small workout, the days that I work out, I'm like so much happier and it just happens on its own. It's that adrenaline and everything. It's just, it's great. It's a great thing. I love, I can just advocate for fitness all the time. All right, so you said you're a mindset coach for, and I know you're a mindset coach for home birth moms. So what mindset shifts can you help my listeners when it comes to just being fit postpartum? What kind of advice would you give them?
Yeah, for sure. I would say first off is the first place that you need to start is by being self-aware. What are these beliefs that you have when it comes to working out, when it comes to your body, when it comes to your ability? Transformation doesn't happen until you're self-aware of what's going on in your mind. And so being in the quiet, and allowing those subconscious beliefs to rise to the top, allowing yourself to capture those thoughts that are coming into your head and then writing them down. That's the very first step into realizing what may be holding you back from enjoying working out. So some of these limiting beliefs that I have experienced myself, and I also see many women struggling with, is my body is broken. It didn't work. And again, this goes back to my C-section birth. I felt like I was broken. So why would I be working out if I'm broken? So one thing, when you identify this limiting belief and you write it out and you look at it, you know that thought needs to change. But how do we do that? Well, neuroplasticity is the science of breaking down thoughts that aren't helpful for you, rewiring and creating new thoughts. So the new thought that can really serve you well is my body is for me, not against me. So every single time you think my body's broken, I can't do this, I'm not capable, then replace it with truth. My body is for me, not against me. And what this looks like in the follow through, because this is a really important part that I think a lot of mindset people forget, is their action is what produces confidence. And so what action are we going to be taking? Well, we need to make sure we're not punishing our body. Our body doesn't deserve to be punished. It's just grown a baby, and you have just birthed a baby. And however that looked like, it was a beautiful process that your body did for you and your baby. So don't punish it. Also, don't push your body. I think a lot of times, and I'm kind of like a black and white, all or nothing. I'm going to push myself until I can't do it anymore. That's not beneficial as a postpartum mom, right? We need to make sure we're listening into our body, not pushing it past the ability it has in the moment. You'll get there when you can push yourself more, but we need to tune in and really love our body so that we're not punishing it and we're not pushing it too far. Another belief that is really helpful to put on repeat is being fit postpartum is about every part of your body being in alignment. Okay. So when your mind is doing right, when your body is doing right, when your spirit is doing right, it's all in alignment and it all serves you well, right? Until your mindset is right, you're not going to want to work out. Again, I go back. I believe that being fit was not going to benefit me because it didn't benefit me in the past. And so if I couldn't do it then and it didn't help me then, why would it help me now? Until I broke that belief down, I wasn't able to get my body healthy. And when your body and your mind are healthy, your spirit just comes alive and is more in tune with the Lord. And it's a beautiful process when all three parts of your body can be in alignment. So sometimes you just have to start, right? And this is that follow through. This is the action. You just have to start somewhere. And I believe start somewhere that's fun for you. Right after I had my baby, I joined a dance class. And that is something that had always lit me up in the past. And it was my starting point because it was fun. I joined with friends, and now it's transformed into strength training and weightlifting. And I have correlated in my mind now, okay, working out is fun because I started with dancing. And working out is now still fun because my brain believes it because I've seen the benefits that come from it. So for you, if you're a postpartum mom, a new postpartum mom, this may look like going on a walk for you. It may look like stretching for 5-10 minutes in the morning. It may look like joining a dance class. And it may, for some, like in those new postpartum months, it may just look like walking to your back porch and swinging on your back porch with your baby. So it's going to look different for everyone. And that's where that self-awareness, tuning into your body comes in.
Yeah, Allie, that was amazing. And so everybody listening, you're gonna have to go back again and again because that was so good. Everything you just said. I love you said my body is for me and not against me, and
Mhm.
start with something that's fun. I 100% agree with that. I mean, dancing, I love to dance too. I don't go to a dance class, but now you've got me excited to find one because that just brings me back to like my childhood. It's just that's great. I love it. So good. All right. So is there a rule that you follow postpartum to help you heal and to feel like yourself again? Like, do you, or to feel like yourself faster? Do you have any kind of rule that you follow?
Yeah, so when I first was planning my home birth, I knew that I wanted my postpartum to look different. And so I started doing some research on how other cultures were doing it, what people in the home birth world typically do. And I found something, and my midwife actually suggested this too, something called the 555 rule. So this is 5 days in bed, 5 days on bed, and 5 days around the bed. So this gives you a solid 15 days of rest, recuperation, bonding, and really it's having that mindset of, okay, I just went through something so big. My baby went through something so big, and I'm going to give myself time before getting back to normal, right? And we talked about this earlier. It's a new normal. Every time you have a baby, you're adjusting to what this new normal is. And so if you think about it, your organs are going back into place after being displaced for so long. Your vagina is healing if you've torn, your hormones are fluctuating, and it's just really important to rest. And so this is something that I have followed, and I put this in my postpartum planning module on my course because I want women to have the practical ways of not just following something legalistically, because I've heard some people who follow this or they follow the 40 days of rest. And so they stay in their home for 40 days. If you don't plan and prepare for it well, it can feel stifling and it can feel not helpful. And so there is a way to prepare for that so that you actually get benefits from it. And you're not just following a rule because it's trendy or cool or it's supposed to do something for you. But your body is in a constant state of healing. And we just need to give our body the support it needs so that it can heal effectively. So ask yourself when you're in this 15 days or right after, I mean, give yourself time, right? Ask yourself, is the movement that I'm doing right now healing or hurting my body? And it's going to be different for everybody. So again, you need to work on that self-awareness and the tuning into your intuition so that you can find out what is best for you. But the 555 rule is really, when you do it right, it has so many benefits.
Yeah, I definitely would have done that for sure. If I would have known of it or would have like someone would have said to me, "Yes, you have permission to rest for 15 days." I think it was like I would have probably thought this is beneficial to me. There's no it's just 15 days of our life. You're not going to get that time back, but you're going to get so much in return. That healing and yeah. So everyone try this out for sure if you're newly postpartum. That's so great. All right, well, let's finish with that and just tell everybody where they can find you because you're a wealth of knowledge. So please tell everybody where they can find you, where they could follow you, and if you have any kind of resources for them, because I know that they would love to learn from you.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for having me on. You can check out my website at peacefulhomebirth.com. I also have a postpartum healing protocol. So if anybody is newly postpartum or planning a baby soon, then this postpartum healing protocol you can print off, flip through it. It's a very easy guide to show you the herbal remedies that you need to have on hand, the 555 rule. I go into depth on that. So I'll give you that link to put in the description. And yeah, you can follow me on my podcast, Peaceful Home Birth, and we can connect there and on Facebook. So thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, Allie, this has been so great. Thanks for being here, and everybody go follow her on her show. How much did you love that interview with Allie from the Peaceful Home Birth podcast? If you are planning on having more kids in the future, she's your girl to teach you all things about natural home birth. If you are postpartum and all about fitness, strength training, getting your core strong again, I'm your girl for that. So if you are interested in getting your abs strong after having a baby and you don't know how to get started, definitely head on over to my course, Postpartum Ab Simplified, at livecorestrong.com/PAS, and you can get started with getting rid of your pooch, restoring your core strength, and living that confident life that you've always wanted to live as a mom. It's a 70-day course, and by the time you are done, you're going to feel absolutely amazing, and your abs are going to be stronger than they were prior to getting pregnant. If you're ready to get started, just head on over to livecorestrong.com/PAS, and remember to always live core strong. Did you learn something amazing today and feel like your mama friends would learn a lot too? You can have a huge impact on their lives and the lives of so many other moms by subscribing and leaving a review on iTunes or Apple Podcasts, so the fit postpartum mom message can spread all over the world. New moms don't need to struggle anymore. The answers are all right here waiting for them. So take 30 seconds to share it. Take a screenshot of this podcast, tag me on Instagram, and post it in your stories. But before you go, please head over to Apple Podcasts, subscribe, and leave a 5-star written review so you can help grow the Strong Mom community. I'd love to have you and your mom friends there with me. And as a thank you for being here all the way to the end, I have something special for you. I'm giving you free access to my training on how to safely start postpartum ab exercises in less than 2 minutes a day. Watch right now at www.livecorestrong.com/class. I can't wait to see you next time on the Fit Postpartum Mom podcast.